Hello friends, so we are going to continue with the questions related to unit costing, batch costing and job costing, and probably finish those miscellaneous type of topics. I'm starting with unit and batch costing, institute module, practical question, unsolved question, question number 1 from there. This question is primarily having concepts from flexible budgets. It is not difficult at all. Just remember the concepts of flexible budget, where cost can be fixed cost, variable cost, semi-variable cost. For semi-variable cost, some trends are given which will be following strictly, and then we'll be able to make a flexible budget. Let's go on with this. He tells me Wonder Limited has capacity of 1,20,000 units per annum as its optimum capacity. The production costs are given: material cost 90 per unit, labor cost 60 per unit. Overheads are given: fixed 30 lakh per annum, variable 100 per unit. Semi-variable overheads are given 20 lakh per annum up to 50% capacity, extra 4 lakh for every 25% increase in capacity or part thereof. Underline the words or part thereof. That is very, very important to follow. The production is made to order and not for stock, so they are not keeping any stock. Stock will not affect my calculations. If production program of factory is indicated below and management desires profit of 20 lakh, what should be the selling price to be quoted? First 3 months 50% capacity, remaining 9 months 80% capacity. So very important, throughout the question I am going to make 2 columns for 2 different periods. First 3 months they are working at 50% capacity, next 9 months they are working at 80% capacity. Let us make out working note number 1 here. Working note 1. Analysis of units to be produced and sold. There is no problem of stock, so units produced will be sold also. First, three months, all my calculations will work out like this. Next 9 months, 2 types of period for the full year. First 3 months is different, next 9 months is different. Capacity utilization 50%, 80%. Monthly production. Now monthly capacity is what? 1,20,000 per annum, so 10,000 per month. 10,000 per month multiplied by capacity utilization ratio. 5,000 per month here, 8,000 per month here. Total production for the period. In first 3 months, 15,000 units will be produced. Next 9 months, 72,000 units will be produced. Total production for the year. 15,000 plus 72,000. 87,000 units. So first figure I have reached. Total production for the year that they are going to plan 87,000 units. That is working note number 1. Now material, labor, fixed overhead, variable overhead can be dealt easily. I am looking at working note 2. Analysis for semi-variable overhead. Again, first 3 months next 9 months. Looking analysis for these. Capacity utilization. How much capacity they are utilizing? In first 3 months they are utilizing 50%. Next 9 months 80%. Annual semi-variable overheads. Now at 50% it is given. How much given at 50%? 20 lakh per annum. This is annual figure. I have to get proportionate 3 months later on. What about 80%? Is it given for 80%? No. He is saying for every block of 25% or part thereof, additional semi-variable cost of 4 lakh is applicable. Now, how many blocks to be added? If I add one block, capacity reaches 75%. So, at 75% cost, annual cost is 24 lakh. But I need 5% more. It is a part of next block of 25%. Even if 1% is added, 4 lakh will be added. So, this is 20 lakh plus 4 lakh plus 4 lakh. 28 lakh annual. Now kids come to me, they say, sir, if there is a block of 25%, additional cost is 4 lakh, for 5% it should be only 80,000. I agree, but he has written or part thereof. What I am trying to say, I am writing here in detail. Up to 50% capacity, 20 lakh. 50 to 75%, any capacity, 24 lakh. 75 to 100%, 28 lakh. That is a utility of words that I said in the beginning are important, or part thereof. Even if there is a single percentage above 50%, it will be 24 lakh. If it is even a single percentage above 75%, it will become 28 lakh. Till 100%, that is applicable. More than 100%, I don't comment here. So, I need 28 lakh. For me, 28 lakh is relevant figure. Now, I don't put annual and annual 2 years cost. I will not be putting. For relevant period. For relevant period. 20 lakh into 3 by 12, 28 lakh into 9 by 12. So, once I calculate, this is 5 lakh, and this is 21 lakh. Total for the year 26 lakh. Total semi-variable overhead that I will be putting in my budget, flexible budget, is 26 lakh. My major working notes are done. Now I am on to very easy thing to follow. I make budget for next year with 87,000 units to be created. This is rupees, particulars and rupees. I could have made 3 months, 9 months, then add, but I don't need. I need only one single figure. So that is what I am looking for. Material, direct material, 90 per unit. 87,000 multiplied by 90, 783000, 78 lakh 30,000. Direct labor 60 per unit, 52,20,000. Fixed overhead 30 lakh. Variable overhead 87 lakh, 100 per unit. Semi variable overhead, refer WN2 26 lakh. Then add them. Total cost. I'm getting is 2,73,50,000. This is total cost. Add profit. Profit desired was given 20 lakh. This becomes 2,93,50,000. Sales revenue. So at 87,000 units, this is a sales revenue. Divide by 87,000 units. What I am getting is 337.36 approximately should be selling price. This is what they wanted. What selling price should they quote so that they can get desired profit of 20 lakh rupees? So I am getting his selling price 337.36. I hope this one is clear. Looking next, question number 2 of the institute module again. This question is similar to some illustration that you have done in batch costing. Let's go through this. It's 3 months analysis. Different batch outputs are given. Material labor is given. You want to get overhead surely on those basis. I'll have to get labor hours from labor cost, which I'll be applying with overhead rate per hour month by month. That will compute separately. So what I'm doing is I'm first doing a working note 1. Analysis of labor hours. January, February, March. Labor cost given there 2,500, 3,000, 2,000. Labor rate per hour. Everywhere it is 2 per hour given at the bottom of first table. So from there I can get labor hours. I need them for absorbing my overheads. 1,250, 1,500, 1,000. Working note 2. Computation of overhead rate per hour. Now labor hours I have computed, overheads are known. Based on that, I'll compute labor rate, overhead rate per hour, which I'll apply month by month on these labor hours that I have computed. So it is again Jan, Feb, March. Overhead amount given 12,000, 9,000, 15,000. And labor hours given for the month 4,000, 4,500 and 5,000. Rate per hour 3, 2, 3. So different rate applicable. Now students get confused. Sir, labor hours are given already 4,000, 4,500, 5,000. Then what did we compute? 1,250, 1,500 and 1,000. They are labor hours on that particular batch output. My company is working. It is making so many things. In that batch production, 1250 hours are there. For the company as a whole, there are 4000 hours. So don't get confused. They are different things, usable differently. Now I'm making main cost statement. Batch cost statement monthly. Aggregate also. I'll make total 5 columns. One for particulars, one for January, one for Feb, one for March, and one for aggregate total. Total of 3 months. Batch output. Batch output given 1250, 1500, 1000. If you add them, they are 3750. I want to calculate cost per unit, profit per unit with the help of given selling price per unit. Now I put all the cost one by one. Material cost given in question. 6250, 9000 in Feb, 5000 in March, 20,250. Labor, direct labor cost given there, 2500, 3000, 2000, 7500. Overhead cost is the only good cost of the question. It is based on labor hours I computed 1250 into 3. 3750. Then second month is 2 per hour on 1500. 3000. In third month 3 per hour on 1000. 9750. If I add them all, what I'll get? Total cost. So I need to add them. 6250, 2500, 3750. I'm getting 12,500 in January. 15,000. Third is 10,000. Once I add, it is 37,500. I can put sales revenue. Now selling price per unit must be given somewhere. Selling price is 15 per unit. So 15 per unit on 1250 makes 18750. 15 per unit on 1500 makes 22,500. 15,000 in last. I'm getting total 56250. What I can get from their profit in every batch. So in aggregate, I'm going to get 18750. There is 5,000 here, 7,500 here, 18,750 minus 12,500, 6,250 here. Now things don't end there. I must calculate profit per unit and cost per unit. Profit per unit and cost per unit, two ways of computing. Either reduce profit per unit from 15 rupees or total cost divided by total units. So this is cost per unit 10, 10, 10, total is also 10. Profit per unit 5, 5, 5, total is also 5. So uniformly you are having profit per unit 5 and cost per unit 10 and selling price per unit is 15. Now what does question say further? Question says from following data present profit per unit of each batch order and overall position of the order for 3000 units. For 3000 units, cost 3,000 into 10, 30,000. Profit 3,000 into 5, 15,000. And sales revenue 3,000 multiplied by 15, 45,000. This is the complete question number 2. Next I reach is job costing concepts. In the separate chapter, chapter number 9, the two things covered: job costing and contract costing. Contract costing is a separate chapter for me. Here there is 2 illustrations and 1 odd unsolved questions. I am going to do all of these. They involve some concepts of losses as well as cost sheet again. So I am dealing with illustration 1, which is purely on losses. This you study quite a lot in process costing. Here I am just dealing with some basic concepts by reading the question. The manufacturing cost of a work order is rupees 1 lakh. So there is a cost given. Cost of a work order rupees 1 lakh. 8% of production against that order spoiled, and rejection is estimated to have realizable value of 2,000 only. Actual loss 8% of work order cost, rupees 8,000. Realizable value scrap that you can sell in market, 2,000. Normal rate of spoilage. Normal rate of spoilage is 2% only. It means 8% total loss is of 2 types. 2% normal, 6% abnormal. Now scrap against them also is in the same ratio, 2:6, 2:6 I can say. So 1/4 scrap value against normal loss, 2/8 into 2,000, against abnormal loss 6/8 into 2,000. This is 500, this is 1,500. So 1,500 scrap value of abnormal loss will also come there. So cost of abnormal loss 6,000 minus 1,500. Which 1,500 I am saying? Scrap value realized from there. 4,500 must be taken to costing P&L account. This 1,500 must be taken to overhead account. This 1,500 must be taken to overhead account. Your scrap will be realized from there. Overhead control. This 1,500. Normal loss should be taken to material control account. 2,000 must be taken to material control account. So journal entry becomes costing P&L account debited 4,500 overhead control account debited, that is scrap value of abnormal loss 1500, and normal loss cost must go to material control account without taking into consideration the normal loss scrap there. Scrap is not considered here. 2. WIP control account. That was total 8,000. 8,000 WIP should be reduced. So I have credited. Debit goes to costing P&L 4,500. Net loss on abnormal items 1,500 overheads, and normal loss, all the amount 2,000 including 500 of scrap recovery goes to material control. That is the ultimate loss concept in job costing. Next we reach illustration number 2, which is a typical question on job costing concepts. You are given for a job and you are given a company's P&L statement. Now from company's P&L statement, you need to find absorption rates for different types of overheads. That is the only thing you have to observe from the annual P&L statement given. I'll first do part 2, which says make a revised statement in your own format. So part 2 is what I am starting from. In part 2, I'll also calculate what? Absorption rates. Factory overhead, department X rate, Y rate, Z rate, and selling expense overhead absorption rate. Obviously, whatever profit is given, net profit, I'll get the same figure. There will be no change. But it is to be revised as per the data which is given. So I make the cost statement. I am doing first is part number 2. Revised cost statement for 20X2. Your year can be different depending on the booklets that you are carrying. Materials used 1,50,000. Labor XYZ 10,000, 12,000, 8,000. Total 30,000. Special stores items, it is like chargeable expenses 4,000. I can call it prime cost 1,84,000. Overheads XYZ 5,000, 9,000, 2,000. I put them 16,000, but important thing that I am following here, I'll write here absorption rates. For X department, based on labor, it is 50% of X labor cost. This is 9,000 divided by 12,000. 75% of Y's labor cost, and this is 25% of Z's labor cost. This is what I intend to calculate, for which I am revising the statement. Even if question did not say me in second part make revised statement, I'll be computing these absorption rates. What I get? Factory cost 2 lakh. Add, there is no administration, there is no stock items, so I am reaching is selling expense 20,000. What I am having? 10% of factory cost. This is the absorption rate that I computed. This is important. This is for which I am doing this second part. What I get? Total cost 2,20,000. Sales is given 2,50,000. Balancing figure is profit 30,000. Did I do anything new? No. Whatever was given in question, I have put it in a different format. Same profit I am getting, but I am getting the absorption rates. That is important. Now I reach first part. That is important. From first part, I'll be able to reach the third part also. Job cost sheet. The given job cost sheet was not proper because it did not include the overheads. Materials 70. Labor, you want to find for all of them 2.50 for X 8 hours into 2.50, for Y department 6 hours into 2.50, for Z department 4 hours into 2.50. This is 10, this is 20, this is 15. This is 45 total. It is same as was given in question. Chargeable expenses given 5. Prime cost 120. Add factory overhead XYZ 50% of 20 10, 75% of 15 11.25, 25% of 10 2.5. Add them and put in the outer column. 21.25 plus 2.5. I'm getting 23.75. So if I add, I get factory cost. Factory cost 143.75. Add selling expenses 10% of 143.75, 14.38 approximately. So I get their total cost 158.13. This is total cost for the job. The job cost sheet is complete here. Part 3. Add 20% of total cost. 158.13 into 20%. 31.63 approximately. Once added, what I am getting is 189.76. Selling price of the job. This is the answer of part 3. So till 158.13 was cost per unit, which was part number 1. And in part number 3, I add profit margin. I will get the selling price 189.76. That is complete illustration number 2. Now the last question on job costing is quite good question. You need to read the full question carefully and only then you will be able to perform the same. There are lots of jobs given in the question. 115, 118, 120, 121, 124. So many jobs are there. But question is asked only about 3 jobs. So analysis needed only for 115, 118 and 120. And in all of them, I need to make analysis for September and October. For September, the figures are quite easily given. For October, you will have to work out. In material, you have to check what are the requisitions applicable to that particular job. And then there are some adjustments also given. I need to take care of. In labor, very easily, hours are known. I have to multiply with rate per hour, shop by shop, and I will be getting the cost. Overheads, I have to work out from the beginning. So one working note I am starting for overheads. working note for factory overheads, and be sure factory overheads include indirect material, indirect wages also. So don't think about the details given for indirect labor, waiting for material, breakdown, idle time, overtime premium. I am not at all interested, because in my absorption rate for factory overheads they will be already included, so they are not to be put separately. I need to make one overhead absorption rate. Second last line in the question, second last para, second last line. The factory overhead is applied at the same rate as in September. So October's factory overhead rate is same as in September. Now look at September. In the first table that was given, in job 115, 640 against 800. It becomes 80% of labor cost, direct labor cost. In job 118, 400 on 500. Again 80% of labor cost. In job 120, 380 on 475. 380 on 475. It is uniform everywhere. 80% of labor cost. So in month of October also, whatever labor cost we will charge, 80% of that will become the factory overheads. Once I reach factory cost, I can charge administration, selling. They are given in the last paragraph. 10% on the factory cost to charge everything, and then on total cost plus 20% will be the profit margin. Then we'll be able to get all the other things. I'm making analysis job by job. I treat it like 3 questions. Analysis for job number 115. Which cost I am going to put? Direct material, direct labor, and factory overhead. The total becomes factory cost. Why I am making vertical? Because I am going to do it separately for September and October. September and October. Both factory cost I will get, I will add them, I will get total here. This total I will add further administration, profit, I will get the selling price. I will do job by job. So direct material, I will easily copy from September from the first table. Material 1325, labor 800, cost I have to take, not the hours, and factory overhead 640. So if I add them, 1325 plus 800 plus 640, I am getting 2765. Very simple. Now look at materials which were used in October. Is there anything for job 115? Check it out. For job 118, 120, 121, 124. So direct material issued is nil. When no material is issued, obviously no material is consumed in October. Labor hours, 25 in shop A, 25 in shop B. So 25 into 3, 75 in shop A, and 25 into 2 in shop B. 50 there. 125 is the labor cost here total. Now 125 into 80% should be factory overhead as per the working note I have made for overhead absorption rate. So very important is absorption rate. 125 into 80%, 100. 100 plus 125, 225. What I am getting is 2765 added there. 2990 is factory cost. Total factory cost 2990. It's not complete because I have to reach selling price. So I write there total factory cost of job 115 2990. Add administration, selling overhead, 10% of factory cost 299. I should add 299. What I get? 3289. This is total cost. Add profit margin, cost plus 20%, 20% on total cost into 20%, 657.80. Once I add, I get 3946.80. This is selling price, answer of first job. I'll make little more detailed in the same format, but there are more adjustments for 118. There are 3 material requisitions in the adjustment also. They are being talked. So I'll have to write a little more. So get little more space in your table that you are making again. Material, labor, factory overhead, factory cost. Material has little more adjustments. Let me go get more space for material. September will not disturb. September is quite simple. October needs a little more analysis and adjustment. And I'll get total here. And then same, add 10%, add 20%. Let's put for September. From first table, 810 for material, labor 500, 400 factory overhead, 1710 factory cost for September. Now in October, 3 materials are issued. 300 requisition number 54, 425 requisition number 55, and requisition number 56 also for 118515. Looking at labor, 90 into 3, 30 into 2. Now if I read at bottom, shop credit slip was issued in October, that material issued under acquisition 54 was returned back to store as not being suitable. So he is talking of this 300 rupees. It was issued, but later it was returned, minus 300 I should do, or I should not add at all because it has been returned. If issued and returned, there is no consumption. So this 300 is returned back. Requisition number 54 I have basically replaced. Material transfer note issued in October indicated that material issued under requisition 55 for job 118 was directed to job 124. So even this 425 was not consumed there, it was redirected to another job 124, which we are not making. If we were making, I will add there, but not here. So I can say I am getting here 515 only. Here I am getting 270 plus 60, 330 I am getting. Now here 80% of 330. 330 into 80%, 264 I will be getting. add 1109 plus 1710, 2819 total factory cost. Add administration selling 10%, 281.9. I'll get total cost 3100.9. Add profit 20%, 620.18. Profit added 620.18. What I get? 3721.08. This is the ultimate selling price of this question. Again, no effect of indirect labor, because it is presumed that 80% factory overhead includes the impact of indirect labor, indirect material also. Lastly, analysis for job 120. Exactly in same manner, because you have done 2 jobs already. I hope this will not disturb you at all. The format is exactly same. Material, labor, factory overhead. When you add, you will get factory cost. September, October, here you get total. So going on with September, easy figures: 765, 475, 380. 765, 475, 380, 1620. In October, looking at job 120, only 665 was issued. In labor, 75 hours in shop A at the rate of 3 per hour, 10 hours in B at the rate of 2 per hour. So this becomes 75 into 3, 225 plus 20, 245 total. And 245 into 80%, 196 comes here, plus 245 plus 665, 1106 you get there. Comparatively easy. Plus 1620, I'm getting is 2726. So once I get total factory cost, you can continue there, or you can make a new statement like this. Plus 10% administration, 272.6. This is administration and selling. Total cost I am getting 2998.6 plus 20% profit, 599.72. Once I add, I get 3598.32. This is selling price. These are all 3 jobs in this question. I hope this is all clear. I've tried to cover all cost statements, all flexible budgets, all EBQs, loss concepts, everything in this miscellaneous, which covered unit costing, batch costing and job costing.